back and watched the press conference you did after the fight that night, and you said, I'm so grateful for this fight because I know people wilt and people break, and this fight got to help me prove that I won't. When you look back at that fight, how grateful are you that you got to experience that and prove that?
Very grateful. Even immediately after the fight, I was sore, but I knew that was a special fight. That was a special moment in combat sports history. And yeah, I even said on the camera when they had the cameras on me in the stadium, I just say, "Hey, Kelvin, that was us," because it takes two to tango, and that man can salsa.
We often speak about moments that you've had in your career. The 5th round, I'm prepared to die. I mean, it's an iconic moment now etched in the Hall of Fame. Do you look at that one as perhaps your most iconic moment?
There's so many, but that was the realest moment I think I've ever had in a cage. The realest, because I meant every single word of it, and I returned the favor by trying to kill him, and he's a hard man to kill. So for me, it's in the moment I wasn't even scared. I wasn't scared of death because I just got rocked, and I was just like, well, if this is how I go out, this is how I go out. But I'm gonna die trying, and I tried, and I did.
I saw it posted to Freestyle Bender that you actually FaceTimed Kelvin.
Just before, yeah.
Are you able to talk to us about what you were saying?
We're just sharing pleasantries and saying thank you. Again, I can't. It's not just me. It was me and him in that fight, and what an opponent. Leading up to it, he was cool, respectful. There was a little bit of jibber jabber back and forth, but it was just gameness. And when it came down to it, he was fucking game. He came for me. He tried to take my head off. He was the first. I think it was the first time I've been rocked in a UFC fight. Was that first round, and again, I remember what my head was trying to do. You know, like I guess self-preservation. So I just said, "Shut the fuck up, I'm busy," and I went back to the center. Right, because I bounced off the fence. My ass never hit the ground. And I went back to the center straight away and kept on working. But I'm, again, grateful, just grateful for these moments. And it still all kind of hit me. And maybe when I have a shower or when I'm on the plane ride, then I'll really let it sink in. Like, oh shit, really did that.
I want to keep the focus on tonight, right? Keep it positive. But last couple of weeks, I mean, they always say in this game, highest highs, lowest lows. I feel like maybe with what's just happened back to back with the loss and now this Hall of Fame moment, do you feel like, wow, I get to experience that in intensity?
Bro, honestly, I wouldn't change anything, eh? The chance to be able to feel these moments, regardless, it's always making history. Like, I'm making history even when I lose, you know? And I'm grateful to even Nasruddin Imavov, sorry, I learned how to say his name properly, Imavov, because, you know, we shot a fair one, he beat me. And then, cool, we move on. I move forward to the next one. So, yeah, I was grateful that I didn't come out hurt. Grateful that, you know, my family came to support me. I could take them somewhere like Dubai and just hang out with my siblings. Yeah, because I think people, again, they expect you to react the way they'd react, but they don't understand you haven't done what I've done. So we're not the same. And, yeah, I was grateful for that moment, grateful for the week, and I'm grateful for tonight as well.
Congratulations, mate.
Thank you, Oscar.
Just a couple of quick ones. They showed you sitting octagon side when they were playing the highlight package. So I'm curious, years past that fight, what kind of emotions do you feel when you're watching highlights of? Physically, that must have been a very tough night for you. But what do you think about when they show highlights of that fight?
I sweat. Yeah, I'm pretty drenched right now because as much as you might like. I am an attention whore at some points, but sometimes I kind of like to make it be about other people. So I wasn't expecting that, and I'm glad I composed myself, didn't really cry or anything, even though I felt the emotions. But yeah, I just look at those moments and I'm like, fuck, that fight was a movie. It was on some real life ninja shit. Like, you know, me and this tough Mexican going at it, he being hard to kill, fuck, and he's got a hard head, bro. Like, Pereira has a hard head, but Kelvin, goddamn, noggin on that man.
What is it like being tied to another human like that? Because I'm sure you're gonna be in the Hall of Fame as your own fighter, but you know, there's the knockouts and everything. But for the rest of your life, even past that, you're gonna be tied to Kelvin Gastelum on the wall of the UFC Hall of Fame.
There's a scar I have here on my lip from when he busted my lip from a punch. Whenever I look in the mirror, if I catch a glimpse of it, a thought of him goes past my head. There's moments in life when I have to dig deep or in the gym, and I remember the moments in the fight where I had to dig deep, and that helps me fuel me, you know? So, again, forever grateful for him in those moments.
Just back here, Izzy. Back to your right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all the way back here. First of all, brother, I just want to thank you and your family and your brother. I do the podcast with Rob. You shared the clip with us. Honestly, really grateful for that.
No worries. Hey, man, everybody got to eat.
Yeah. I would love to talk about you training with Rob, you sitting ringside with Alex Pereira. I'd love to know your outlook on that and reuniting, for the lack of a better word, with past opponents that you've had great fights with.
Yeah, again, I was even telling Alex before, like, because shout out to Plino as well for being the bridge, because me and Alex kind of just sound like cavemen talking to each other, you know, Shama, yeah, no Shama. But Plino helps be the bridge. And like I said earlier, look, this is fighting. You got to be a man about this. And if you don't fight, you're not a man, you don't understand. But we shot a fair one. That's it, cool. I even told Alex, I was like, bro, you beat me in Brazil. That was a fair one, cool. I left you alone. You chased me. So that's your problem. That was his fault. So again, when people ask me about, like I got asked early this week about MMA rematch, I'm like, why? There's no need, unless down the line, something for the belt, maybe he becomes champion and I get my way there. But I don't think I got to get it back. That's not how fighting works. That's not how I see it, unless it's on some real beef personal shit. But nah, shot a fair one, you beat me, or I beat you, good game. We'll move on, we'll move forward. So I hope I answered your question. But
No,
with all these guys, it's just, look, we're like, what's hating Alex or hating Rob or anyone else gonna do for me now doesn't serve me at all. It's just poisoning myself. I'm holding on to hate in my heart for someone that's moved on, you know? So yeah, why would I do that? I'm not that kind of person. I'm just a chill guy.
In the lead up to UFC Saudi Arabia, you gave a really thoughtful answer when asked the question, what makes the difference between a champion and a legend in the sport? I would love to ask you, given this Hall of Fame induction, what makes the difference between a great championship fight and a legendary fight, one that's perhaps poised to enter the Hall of Fame?
A legendary fight and a great championship fight. Oh, okay, that's another good one. A legendary fight, I feel like, and this could be subjective, I think, for me, it has to have back and forth moments, or a really, really tough guy that's hard to kill. You could look at, what was one of those ones back in the day? Czech Congo, Pat Barry, that was a legendary fight. There was one with Todd Duffy years ago where he was whooping this guy. And then, and then like randomly out of nowhere, it wasn't a really big magnitude or big name fight, but that was a legendary moment because that was a tough opponent. He finally got him. But I think a legendary fight has to have some kind of setback or like, back and forth, because that way you get to see both guys rise to the occasion, I think. But let me ponder on that and I'll answer it another time.
Thank you so much, man.
No worries.
Israel, just over here to your right. There is some distinction between a fight entering the Hall of Fame and an individual entering the Hall of Fame. As it stands with this induction, do you consider yourself a Hall of Famer now?
Nah, well, because they said Dana wanted to talk to me. I was like, but we just talked in the back room. And he's like, yeah, he wants to see you. I was like, cool. And then we sat down, and I was like, oh, we just chilling? All right. I didn't really feel the setup till I saw something come on the screen. I was like, and it said Hall of Fame. I was like, nah, not me. I'm too young. I'm still in the game, And then when they said 2 middleweights, I was like, God damn it. They got me. They tricked me. But again, just grateful, man. And I use that word a lot. It might be overused, but you can't overuse gratitude.
Was the Hall of Fame something that was on your list of something to achieve?
Definitely. It still is. I definitely will get my own plaque on the Hall of Fame, but I'm happy this first one was this fight and was tied to Kelvin Gastelum in an epic lifetime achievement.
Congratulations.
Shukran.
Israel, just straight ahead in between 2 cameras.
Right there.
Just back on you training with Rob Whittaker, was there ever be a scenario where either one of you could corner each other in your next fight, given the relationship now?
Yeah, it could happen, but my corner is already set in stone, and corners all have a role. We all have a role to play in the corner, so if there was ever a chance where he needed me in his corner or I needed him in my corner, of course, like I said, together we're stronger. Like when we have to take on the whole world, we'll do that, but that's Anzac United. at home we fight each other. Brothers fight sometimes. And then we move on and then take on the whole world together as Anzac United.
And finally, obviously you've had a couple of setbacks lately, but you have such a positive outlook on not only your career, but your life in general, and it's a very admirable trait about yourself. Does that come from within, or is that something that you've learned to, adapt about yourself as your career progressed? So is that something you were born with, or just something you learned to do over your
No,
career?
born with it. It ain't Maybelline. I had to, sorry, stupid jokes. I'm glad my audience gets my jokes. I play to my audience, eh? That one guy. No, but for me, it's just learning. Like, you just learn a lot. That's the thing with me. I make mistakes in my life, but then I look back and I'm like, that was dumb. Why'd you do that? Okay, how do I not do that again? And I go back and I reassess and I actually make changes in my life. And sometimes I'll make the same mistake over and over again until I learn my lesson. But yeah, for me, that's just growth. Like, people look at me and think, oh, if I was in his position, I would, but you're not in my position. That's why you could never. And for me, I'm grateful. Like, you can ask my brother, when I know my post-fight shower or the flight home or like my first flight, because that's when you're, again, by yourself with your own thoughts. You can know how you really feel. And I checked with myself, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. On the way to Dubai, I was like, sweet, we're good. Get to Dubai, hanging out with my family, chilling. And on the way here, I went back home first. On the flight home, I was like, sweet. I know when it sucks to lose. I know it. I was like, fuck, it sucks. And again, it sucks to lose, but I was proud of my work this camp, and I was proud of the way I worked, and I was proud of the way I fought. And he got me based on just a minor mistake I made, and he capitalized very well. And I said, hey, fair game. That's the first thing I said to him. I was like, good game. GG's, mon ami. GG.
Thank you.
Obviously, we see the video of the kid crying.
Kylo, my boy, yeah.
See, like, my son cried as well. So I just wanted to, what do you think you mean to, like, kids out there when it comes to?
I don't know, to be honest. Like, so for me, when I made my UFC debut at the after party, I had that good cunt shirt on, and then one idiot comes up to me, and I could see he had his girlfriend or someone filming, trying to get one of those sneaky gotcha moments, and trying to tell me like, oh, do you think that shirt, is a right attitude to? I was like, bro, shut up. Those kids you're talking about, what do they watch me do? They watch me beat the pulp out of this guy till he was bloody and a ref dragged me off him. Do you think that's going to do more of a damage to their psyche or my shirt? People trying to be virtuous for some dumb reason, and I don't like that. But those who really know me, the kids that follow me, and for whatever reason my story inspires them or they draw something from me as a person, who am I to tell them no? When I used to see tattoos of me, I'd freak out at first. I'd like, because I felt, I don't know, maybe it was imposter syndrome or I felt unworthy. Like, bro, I'm just a human being. I make mistakes. But now when I see them, I'm appreciative because I'm like, man, I have affected that person so much. I just saw one out there before and I got his number. So me and him are going to link up later on and I'll just bless him with something because I feel like that just speaks volumes of what you mean to someone for them to ink your face on them. So whatever about my story that's inspired him or them, I'm grateful for that. So, yeah, I always want to make sure those who follow me, those who support me, never hang their head in shame. And knock on wood, they never will.
One more in the front right here. I interviewed in 2018 when I think right after your Derek Brunson win, and you used a phrase, you were on a quest to earn your master's degree in ass whooping. Mm-hmm. How far along are you, and do you think you've achieved it yet?
Oh, no, you keep going. It never ends. But I'm pretty far along. I've whooped a lot of asses along the way, a lot of great asses at Costa. But, yeah, sorry, it's just there. It's easy, layups. I'm just, honestly, still doing it. I'm still enjoying myself, still getting better. I don't know if you saw my reaction after the fight when David put it like on my phone. I was like, I was watching it. I was like, fuck, the speed. I was so good, man. Till I wasn't, not jokes. But yeah, I'm happy to get back home Tuesday and get to work. Today, what's Sunday? Oh yeah, Sunday, fuck. Oh, Sunday sesh. Hey. Not joke. My crowd. No.
That's the last question.
Yeah.
Just circle back to the legendary fight. Leading question. I guess you were trying to say that you want people to learn something from you.
Speak, sorry. Say it again.
I'm just talking about legendary fight. Yeah, the
Yes.
other guy, you said to circle back to you on that one. Leading question. I believe you are wanting your fight to be something that other fighters, young fighters, can learn from. So,
You mean the Gastelum fight?
Gastelum fight.
Okay. Oh, no, I want everyone to learn from it.
That's
eh?
what I'm saying. So it goes into, it's a legendary, it goes into history. So people
Yeah.
like generations after can obviously watch
Forever.
it.
You
learn
look at the Rumble
technique
in
and
the
styles.
Jungle. Look at all these fights that have come before us, and people like still reference them to this day. I pray that they will reference these fights that I've had, and a fight like this with Kelvin Gastelum, to show the depth of the human spirit, not just from me, but from him as well. The way he had to dig deep in that last round. Because do you know how hard it is to get up when I hit you over and over and over and over and over and over and over again? And he kept on getting up, and he was just hard to kill. So people can learn a lot from both of us in that fight, not just about fighting, but about persevering, digging deep, and rising to the occasion.
So I believe it answers for everybody what's the legendary means for you about this fight going into
The
Hall of
lesson,
Fame.
that's my lesson to teach and for you guys to learn. So you take away what you want to take away from that.